During today's input, we want to give you an overview of the whole disbursement process. So we want to give you a walkthrough of the 4 steps that are necessary to receive your disbursement on time. So you should all recognize this picture because you all recently received an email about an important change of the schedule of funding requirements. The change we informed you about was basically that every project now has to use the GIZ template and additional a new template, the EUKI Disbursement Plan, that also has been sent to you. We know that it can be sometimes confusing with all the different templates. Therefore, we want to show you that it's basically a simple 4-step process for the disbursement and where the different documents come into play when. Before doing so, I would like you to introduce you to Mara. Mara is a finance manager at a fictional organization called Climate Hub and is responsible for the financial handling. Her project, Climate Justice, started in December 2023 and now it's mid-August 2024. So her 4th request for disbursement is now due in September. But which documents do I have to update and submit when and where and to receive my disbursement? Mara wonders. There are 3 key documents that play an important role in the disbursement process: the schedule of funding requirement, the request for disbursement, and the EUKI Disbursement Plan. To have enough time to prepare everything properly and to receive the next disbursement on time at the beginning of the new period, Mara starts the whole process now, at the end of the currently ending period. Since it had been 3 months since the last request was due, Mara does not remember every step of the process perfectly and takes another look on the 4-step overview on the EUKI Wiki for project at the EUKI website. And now she remembers. The first step Mara will do for her next disbursement is to open her schedule of funding requirements. Without the current version of the schedule, the finance department of GIZ will not pay out any disbursements. First, Mara checks the past periods. You have to enter all incurred costs up to the period before the previous one. Mara wants to request her 4th disbursement. That means she has to enter incurred costs up to and including the 2nd period. If the past periods cover a reporting period of a financial report, Mara has to keep in mind to check these amounts later on when the financial report was checked by GIZ. The amounts in the current period, or just completed period, stay the same for now. Now Mara takes a look at the now upcoming period. Sometimes needs change during the project, so she looks if the planned disbursement for this period is still what she needs for the upcoming 3 months. If necessary, she can now make slight adjustments. Since the first year is over soon, she will have to add a new page of the schedule in the next period. There, Mara will enter the planned amount for the next project year. Now Mara is finished with updating the schedule of funding requirements. As a second step, Mara will now prepare her request for disbursement. After downloading and opening the Request for Disbursement document Annex 3C and filling out all the basic data, she will fill out the financial overview. The easiest way to fill in the financial overview is to start at the bottom. Since Mara just updated her schedule of funding requirements and still has it open, she enters the blend amount for the upcoming period in the line Requirements for the current period. The amount in this line always has to match the schedule of funding requirements. Next, she enters the requirements for the foregoing period, also according to the schedule or according to the last request for disbursement. After that, she enters the lines above, all previously received payments from GIZ in total, and the total actual costs including advance payments to third parties. The amount that will actually be paid out calculates itself with a formula. So this sum will most likely always be different than what you requested, and that's okay. There is no need to trying to change that amount. Sometimes Mara finds it difficult to fill out and understand this overview correctly. So she still checks out our detailed tutorials on how to prepare a request for disbursement regularly. Now Mara has prepared her request for disbursement. As the third step, Mara can send both the schedule and the request to her EUKI financial advisor for a pre-check. Only after the documents have been checked by the EUKI financial advisor, they can be submitted together to GIZ headquarters via the invoice@GIZ email address. Please always put your EUKI financial advisor in copy when submitting the documents and communicating with the GIZ finance department. Now some time has passed and Mara now received her payment from GIZ. After Mara received the disbursement, she will now adjust her EUKI disbursement plan as the fourth step. She opens the disbursement plan and goes to the current period, for which she just received the disbursement. Here she changes the drop-down to Receive Disbursement and enters the amount she actually received. All past periods indicate the amounts she received from GIZ and should not be changed again. Now she sees that the total of the disbursement plan does not match the grand total of the contract anymore, but it is easy to see how much has to be reduced or added. Therefore, Mara has to change the future periods so that the total amounts at the end match exactly. But she also has to take into consideration what her project needs are and what is planned in the schedule of funding requirements. Now that the disbursement plan is correct and updated, Mara sends the plan to her EUKI financial advisor. Since this is solely a template from EUKI and not GIZ, she does not have to submit it anywhere else. So that are basically the 4 steps, and to sum it up once again, ideally start at the end of a period. First, adjust your schedule of funding requirements. Then create your request for disbursement for the next period. And after that, submit both documents to your EUKI financial advisor for a pre-check. After the pre-check, submit both documents to GIZ headquarters. After you received your disbursement, adjust your EUKI disbursement plan and send it to your EUKI financial advisor. Besides this tutorial, we already have written guides in our wiki, as well as tutorials for each individual document. So every time Mara is not sure how to fill out a template correctly, she goes to our website for help. Thank you very much for your attention.